Before watching this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Thompson. For 40 years, I've dedicated my life to researching diabetes and treating over 50,000 patients. I've looked into their eyes, listened to their struggles, and searched tirelessly for better solutions beyond conventional approaches. What I'm about to share may surprise you. Diabetes is not just a condition to be managed, it can be improved and in many cases, dramatically so. This might sound unbelievable if you've been told that diabetes is a lifelong sentence, but I've witnessed this possibility in thousands of patients who have transformed their health under my care. Many doctors focus solely on medication management, but my extensive clinical experience shows there's a better approach that addresses root causes rather than just symptoms. This approach has helped countless patients reduce their dependence on medication and reclaim their quality of life. I take my medication faithfully every day. I've cut out sweets completely. I eat small portions, and I've even given up fruit. Yet my blood sugar still fluctuates wildly, and my doctor just keeps increasing my medication. What more can I do? This desperate question is one I've heard countless times in my office. Patients who diligently follow all the conventional advice still find themselves trapped in a cycle where blood sugar remains unstable, and their bodies grow increasingly exhausted. The worst part is they often blame themselves, thinking they must be doing something wrong. I remember Mr. Johnson, who sat with only boiled vegetables at his family's Thanksgiving dinner, the pain in his eyes as he watched everyone else enjoy. The feast was heartbreaking. Family gatherings, which should bring joy, become sources of isolation when you can't participate in shared meals. And at night, many patients face another kind of suffering, the fear of complications: vision loss, kidney failure, or limb amputations can be so overwhelming that it robs them of sleep. "I'm scared to close my eyes at night," one patient told me, "afraid that someday I might end up like that too." If you feel lost in the endless tunnel of diabetes management with no light in sight, please focus on what I'm about to share. It could transform your relationship with this condition. Through decades of clinical research and patient care, I've discovered something remarkable that few healthcare providers discuss. By consuming specific foods daily, 80% of my patients have successfully stabilized their blood sugar, and 65% have been able to reduce their medication dosage. This isn't theory or wishful thinking. These are real changes experienced by real people under my care. They've felt the transformation in their bodies, witnessed the improvements in their blood sugar readings, and many have been able to reduce their medication with their doctor's supervision. The solution I'm about to share addresses the fundamental mechanisms that drive diabetes, not just the symptoms. And the best part? It's accessible, affordable, and can be implemented starting today. To effectively address diabetes, we must understand its true origins. Many people believe that avoiding sugar is the only strategy needed for diabetes management. Unfortunately, this is just a small piece of a complex puzzle. There are three interconnected mechanisms that drive the development and progression of diabetes. Insulin functions like a key that allows glucose to enter our cells. As we age, this key becomes increasingly ineffective. It begins to rust, so to speak. No matter how hard it tries to open the door, glucose remains trapped in the bloodstream, causing elevated blood sugar levels. This phenomenon is known as insulin resistance, where your cells become increasingly unresponsive to insulin's effects. By age 50, many people have already developed significant insulin resistance. Even if they haven't yet been diagnosed with diabetes, our bodies develop invisible inflammation as we age. This inflammation is like small embers that, over time, grow into flames that spread throughout the body. Modern diets rich in processed carbohydrates, instant foods, and trans fats significantly accelerate this inflammatory process. After analyzing data for over 30 years, I've concluded that chronic inflammation typically begins in one's 50s and reaches its most severe levels in the 70s. This inflammation directly worsens insulin resistance, creating a dangerous feedback loop that quietly but persistently fuels diabetes progression. The human gut contains trillions of microorganisms, with beneficial bacteria playing a crucial role in regulating blood sugar. However, after age 60, beneficial gut bacteria begin to decline noticeably, with a reduction of more than 20%. As these beneficial bacteria diminish, so does the body's ability to regulate glucose metabolism, leading to increasingly unstable blood sugar levels. Regardless of how careful you are with your diet, one patient, Mrs. Patterson, was shocked when I explained this connection. I had no idea the gut was so important, especially for diabetes management. These three factors, insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and gut microbiome imbalance, work together to undermine your efforts at controlling blood sugar. Understanding this triad is essential for effective management. Now, here's the crucial insight that changed everything for my patients. One category of foods can simultaneously address all three root causes of diabetes: fermented foods. Fermented foods. Are they really that special? Most of my patients initially respond with skepticism, which is understandable. We tend to overlook simple solutions in favor of complex medical interventions. But after years of clinical trials with thousands of diabetic patients, I've found that traditionally fermented foods show remarkable results in improving blood sugar control. The science is clear: properly fermented foods can reduce insulin resistance, alleviate chronic inflammation, and restore balance to gut bacteria. However, not all fermented products are created equal. Most commercial products don't provide the same benefits, because they use artificial additives or shortened fermentation times to speed up production, resulting in fewer beneficial bacteria. For genuine benefits, you need traditionally fermented foods that have undergone natural fermentation for at least 6 months. These products contain dozens of strains of beneficial bacteria, natural enzymes, and compounds that regulate blood sugar and insulin metabolism. Through extensive clinical observation, I've identified these fermented foods as particularly effective for diabetes management. Properly fermented miso contains numerous beneficial bacteria that improve gut health and reduce insulin resistance. One 69-year-old patient reported after consuming traditional miso daily for 3 weeks, "My blood sugar doesn't spike like before after meals. It feels miraculous." His insulin sensitivity improved by approximately 30%, a result that's difficult to achieve even with medication. Look for traditionally prepared miso that has been fermented for at least 6 months, not the mass-produced varieties with artificial additives. Traditional sauerkraut provides probiotics and beneficial bacteria that reduce inflammatory responses throughout the body. As inflammation decreases, insulin resistance naturally improves, leading to better blood sugar control. One 71-year-old patient noticed, "My joints don't hurt anymore, and my blood sugar has decreased too. Is this all because of sauerkraut?" The anti-inflammatory effects of traditional fermented foods can help alleviate various chronic conditions beyond just diabetes. Tempeh contains thousands of beneficial bacteria that restore gut flora balance. Unlike heavily processed meat alternatives, traditional tempeh undergoes a natural fermentation process that creates enzymes beneficial for metabolism. I wake up feeling refreshed now, bowel movements are easier, and my blood sugar is more stable, reported Mr. Parker, 74. He found that this simple addition to his diet created a noticeable improvement in his overall well-being. Apple cider vinegar and other naturally fermented vinegars help prevent blood sugar spikes and can reduce cravings for sweets. The acetic acid in these vinegars slows gastric emptying and improves insulin sensitivity. I used to crave sweets constantly, but since I started drinking diluted apple cider vinegar, those cravings have disappeared and my blood sugar has stabilized, shared Mrs. Sullivan. This simple remedy has become part of her daily routine. Here's how to incorporate these fermented foods into your daily routine for maximum benefit. Begin your day with traditional miso soup. Add fiber-rich vegetables like seaweed, spinach, or broccoli for additional benefits. This provides a stable foundation for blood sugar throughout the day. Since I started having miso soup every morning, my fasting blood sugar has dropped by 30 points. I never skip it now, reported one 72-year-old patient. Add naturally fermented sauerkraut to your lunch. The lactic acid bacteria help restore gut bacterial balance and reduce insulin resistance, leading to more stable post-lunch blood sugar levels. When I eat sauerkraut with lunch, my blood sugar rises much less afterward. I've found 3-week fermented sauerkraut works best for me, shared another patient. Incorporate tempeh into your evening meal. Tempeh contains enzymes that improve blood flow and metabolic function, helping to maintain stable blood sugar overnight. When I have tempeh for dinner, my fasting blood sugar the next morning is much more stable. The flavor is actually quite enjoyable once you get used to it, noted one patient. When cravings strike, try a tablespoon of fermented vinegar diluted in water instead of reaching for sweets. This can satisfy the palate while helping prevent blood sugar spikes. The most important factor is consistency. Practice these habits for at least 2 weeks, ideally making them a permanent part of your lifestyle, to see meaningful changes. Beyond what you eat, how you eat matters tremendously. What truly matters is the sequence in which you consume your food. Blood sugar elevation can vary by up to 50% depending on the order in which you eat the same foods. The ideal meal sequence for diabetes management. Begin every meal with fiber-rich vegetable or salad greens, steamed vegetables, or fresh vegetable sticks. Fiber acts as a sophisticated regulator that slows the digestion of subsequent foods, gently modulating blood sugar response. After vegetables, move on to protein-source fish, tofu, eggs, or lean meats. Protein helps maintain muscle mass and improves insulin sensitivity. It also provides satiety that helps prevent overeating carbohydrates later in the meal. I used to feel hungry even after eating, but when I eat protein before carbs, I feel satisfied with smaller portions. Plus, my post-meal blood sugar is much more stable, shared one patient. Only after consuming vegetables and protein should you eat bread, rice, pasta, or other carbohydrates. When you've already established some fullness, carbohydrates are absorbed more slowly, leading to a more gentle blood sugar response. I kept the same portion sizes but just changed the order of eating, and my post-meal blood sugar decreased from 200 to 150, one patient reported. This dramatic improvement came not from changing what she ate, but simply changing the sequence. For enhanced control, try drinking a tablespoon of fermented vinegar diluted in water before meals. Just drinking diluted vinegar before meals reduces my post-meal blood sugar by 30 to 40 points, one patient discovered. The final piece of this approach is remarkably simple but powerful. Within 15 minutes after finishing your meal, take a gentle 10-minute walk. Research shows this simple activity can reduce blood sugar spikes by up to 44%. The reason is straightforward. When you move after eating, muscles absorb glucose for energy, preventing rapid increases in blood glucose concentration. Leg muscles, being the largest in our body, can consume substantial amounts of glucose through simple walking. This makes post-meal walking more effective than many realize for blood sugar control. If walking is difficult, alternatives include lifting legs alternately while seated, gently bending and straightening knees in place, or slowly circling arms. The essential principle is to engage muscles after eating rather than remaining still. Just walking for 10 minutes after meals makes my blood sugar rise much less. Numbers that used to exceed 200 now stop around 150. One patient shared after implementing this simple habit. Let me summarize the 3 critical strategies I've shared today. 1. Incorporate traditional fermented foods daily. Start your morning with traditional miso soup, include naturally fermented sauerkraut with lunch, and enjoy tempeh with dinner. These fermented foods support gut health, reduce inflammation, and improve insulin sensitivity. 2. Change your meal sequence. Begin with vegetables, follow with protein, and save carbohydrates for last. This simple change can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by nearly half without changing what you eat. 3. Take a 10-minute walk after meals. Instead of sitting after eating, move gently for 10 minutes. This small habit can reduce post-meal blood sugar elevation by up to 40%. One patient practiced these 3 strategies daily, and within a month, his fasting blood sugar dropped from 180 to 130. After 3 months, he was able to reduce his diabetes medication by half with his doctor's supervision. These small, sustainable changes can lead to significant improvements in blood sugar control and quality of life. Diabetes doesn't have to mean lifelong medication dependence or declining health. These natural approaches can help restore balance to your body and bring hope back to your life. Remember, consistency is key. These aren't temporary fixes but lifestyle changes that, when maintained, can transform your relationship with diabetes and your overall health. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe and hit the like button.